الحمد لله رب العالمين. نحمدك اللهم سبحانك كما ينبغي لجلال وجهك وعظيم سلطانك. نحمدك اللهم آناء الليل وأطراف النهار معترفين بسلطانك حامدين شاكرين لنعمائك. ندعو الله سبحانه وتعالى أن يديم علينا نعمه ظاهرة وباطنة، وأن يلهمنا العزم والعزيمة والصبر والثبات على أن نحمده على تلك النعماء، اللهم أمين. وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له يحيي ويميت وهو على كل شيء قدير. وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله وصفيه من خلقه وحبيبه. My dear respected brothers and sisters in Islam, our dear guests from Minnehaha Academy, thank you so much for coming and sharing with us our Friday congregation today. You all know and you all hear the news about what is going on and what happened in Christchurch in New Zealand. The acts of terrorism attacking innocent people in their weekly prayer, the Friday congregation they had. 4 people, 3 men and women, just opened fire on those who were worshiping God. Never discriminate between men, elder, women, young children, just randomly shooting, just to kill, just to terrorize. And you hear much more than I what hear in the news, and you follow up. The news are saying that so far 49 people were murdered, were killed, and many children have been severely injured. And I would like to shed some light on what is going on, what's happening, and see how Islam would view what is going on, and some reflection in terms of what happened. When we had such terrorist attack or killing or murdering people anywhere, and it doesn't matter who they are, Christians, Jewish people, Muslim people, any people, but mainly humankind, killed, murdered. We had that attack on our center over in Bloomington, Dar al-Farouk. We had another attack over in Pennsylvania, the Jewish temple. We have this one now in New Zealand. We have many before and some others in between. My reflection at that time, and still is, that all of those acts of, call it whatever you want to call it, they will never stop. And if we think that those kind of, call them whatever you want to call them, they will never stop such an murdering and killing, we're mistaken. Why? This happened early on, since Adam and Eve, when the 2 brothers, Cain and Abel, one of them decided to kill his own brother, not a stranger. And after that, it continued with us as a human being, because among us as a human being, you'll find those type of people who love to kill, who love to murder, who love to terrorize, who love to harass people, and so on and so forth. So when I have witnessed those incidents, I said to myself, and even to the media, I say, they will be there forever, and they will never stop. But we have to be ready. We have to be ready. And we should know how to deal with it, and how to look at the negative impact of what is going on, how to be more united, not to be divided. We are in the same boat, either to swim together or sink and die together. We have to take it this way. It doesn't matter, Muslim, Christian, Jewish people, atheist, godless, because those acts of terrorism, they do not recognize any nationality, any type of human being. No, it is just killing and murdering. So the best way to deal with it, as I said, be ready. Be as cautious as you can. Like, for instance, if you say that, we're here together, something might happen. What we did, just call the law enforcement people and police department and this and that, keep watching and keep, alhamdulillah, thanks God, they did and they're still doing, and I will share with you evidence of what they have done. Or even what we have been doing together. I share with you the reality of us and how we're doing a lot of wonderful and great things. Let me focus on the positive things. I don't like to talk about negative things. Positive things. About three weeks ago, I received an email from St. Thomas University, from a professor of theology, telling me that we would love to come to your center, bring our students in order to know more about Islam and ask questions and so on and so forth. We have a very good relationship with St. Thomas University. I said, yeah, you're very welcome. And we decided when, where, how. It happened for the visit to be today, 8 o'clock in the morning in our center. I said, good. The other email I received from Mr. Reed, who was among us today, along with his wonderful students, asking me to come and visit back our center, and again today, and again while we're having our Friday congregation. And I thought about the two of them and say, given what is going on, what's happening in New Zealand, does any one of them, St. Thomas University or Minnehaha Academy, will cancel their visit to come today? I had no doubt in the depth of my heart that they will come. And here they are. St. Thomas University student, along with their professor, they came today. And I said, that's great when we plan to do things as a human being, but this is our little tiny human planning. But look at God's planning. Easily Satan would whisper to their mind, oh, no, we're not going to go there. This is now a dangerous place. We never know. Maybe crazy guy would come and shoot Muslims, but we're here visiting with them, will be shot as well. So they change their mind. No, God help with them. We were coming no matter what. Think about it this way. That's why I do have that tremendous appreciation to Mr. Reed and his students coming from Minnehaha Academy to visit with us, as well as those students coming from St. Thomas University. It wasn't the first time for them to come to here, St. Thomas or Minnehaha Academy. 2 years ago they visited with us. Yet they had a very disastrous situation too in their academy, as you remember. Back to August of 2017, they had in their academy that gas explosion, which had to have him deal with that situation, and now they are on their feet, and now they have their own place, and now they are working so hard because they do have the will and they do have determination, because they are serving God and serving those wonderful students at the St. Thomas do as we do. As long as you know your direction, your goals, your objective, and you're working for God Almighty as hard as you can, as much as you can, by the end of the day you are the winner. You will never be defeated. Or the Minnehaha Academy with that explosion, what we're going to get fund for, what we're going to get finance, how we're going to rebuild this building, how we're going to do this. But again and again, it is not the money and the finance. It is the will, and it is the determination, and it is we will be there, and we will work as hard as we can, no matter what. The same thing we should have, no matter what's happening around us and what's terrorizing us, even when it comes to killing and murdering. Yes, no doubt. Losing in a matter of 15 minutes, 49 people killed and many children severely injured, and we never know what the number would be by the end of today or tomorrow. It is really terrible. It's really scary. But we decided, all of us, to be together. While I was with our students in here from St. Thomas University, with their professors, I got a text message saying that we're having a press conference. Where? At CARE headquarters, CARE, Minnesota, the Council on American Islamic Relations. Press conference, and we're inviting media from all over to ask their questions and to tell them what is going on. I could not believe my eyes. First, I had to excuse myself from the group from St. Thomas because they were here till about 11 o'clock, but the press conference was supposed to be held at 10:30. So I was rushing myself and answering some questions shortly, and I left them in here, even behind, and I said, bye, I'm leaving. And by the way, don't worry, we're having many police cars in front of our center here. You're safe. But before the police car, before how safe this place is, God is taking care of you, because you're coming to support us. I went to the press conference. I did not expect that gathering to be there from all over. The media, social media, and radio, and newspaper, and TV, and so on and so forth. They did a wonderful job, and I spoke shortly. But I was so delighted to see that unity. Priests, pastors, rabbis, faith leaders just came to say, we support you. Regardless to the press conference itself, what should be said or what answer we should give to the question they were asking us. But when I look around, I say, this is us. We'll never be defeated. This is what I would love to leave with you today. We'll never be defeated because we are in the right path. We're serving human beings. We're helping people. We're not a bunch of terrorists, like a lot of misconception and misunderstanding about us Muslims in particular, and so on and so forth. And for those who are committing those crimes, they do not discriminate. Why one day in a synagogue in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and yesterday it was in New Zealand in Christchurch? Why the other day it was in Bloomington, an Islamic center? Why the other day it was in one church? Why the other day it was in synagogue? Enemies of a human being are there, like it or not. And when you think about, because one of the questions came from the news conference, people who are participating say, are you guys Muslims? Are you going to go to your Friday congregation today, or scared to death not to go, so no one is going to go? Here we are. Here we are. And everywhere. If you look at 75 mosques in Minnesota, people like you went to their Friday congregation, the weekly service. Maybe when it comes to our sisters, it would be difficult, because they are more visible with their hijab, with their head cover. That might be a target. But more serious than that, our children, when some of them, the majority, decided not to go to school today, because they were afraid. They were scared to death. Something might happen to them. And with their understanding, with their reflection, I do not blame them. But if you add to all of this the mental, psychological, and emotional impact of what is going on, it is tremendous. It cannot be measured. With my expertise as a psychotherapist, I can tell when we have such a thing happening to any group of people or to any place of worship. Sometimes it would stay forever till we die. Try to deal with it in counseling and so on and so forth. It is extremely, extremely difficult. But by the help and grace of God, by our unity, by the support, we can defeat all of those agonies and sadness and fear. If I can share with you, when I came in today from that press conference and looking at my door, and Brother Mahmoud said, oh, you have a letter by your door. I said, okay, I'll find out. When I get the letter, I was in tears. It came from the police department. In reality, they did their best. The police cars were around. And I met several of them while I was rushing to that press conference. But when we receive a letter, and I will read it literally from you, on behalf of the chief, Draya Hernando, and members of the Minneapolis Police Department, we offer our condolences regarding the shooting that happened yesterday in Christchurch, New Zealand. We will do everything in our power to protect members of our community who have the right to practice their religion peacefully. If you are receiving this letter, please note that we stopped by today to check in and offer our help in any way we can. While the horrors of what we witnessed yesterday are very real, we have no concrete evidence of any ongoing threat to the Islamic centers in our neighborhood, talking about here. However, we ask everyone to remain vigilant and report any suspicious activities to local law enforcement. We also wanted to inform you that we will be doing extra patrols to ensure that we keep our community safe. If you want to take advantage of a free security review by the Minneapolis Police Department representatives, please contact the crime prevention specialist below, our dear brother Abdul Rashid, crime prevention specialist phone number and his email address. This is what we're expecting living in America. It shows the positive side, the great side, the wonderful side of this country, which would assure me that no matter what, I'm still safe, whatever is happening. Whatever is happening. And this is the beauty of what we have been seeing. Don't emphasize negatives. Don't emphasize the shooting. Don't look at the killing. Don't think that much about who were killed. They are in the heaven, in the hands of God, showering them with His mercy and His forgiveness, no doubt. No doubt. But with their family, their relatives, their friends, their neighbors, yes, they can feel that agony there. Yes, no doubt about it. But as long as we're united, we're together, we will never allow such a thing to happen to us. They will never be able to bring us down in our knees. لازلنا في رحاب المصطفى. البر لا يبلى والذنب لا ينسى والديان لا يموت كل ابن آدم خطاء وخير الخطائين التوابون والتائبون الذنب كمن لا ذنب له ادعوا الله وأنتم موقنون بالإجابة. Ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, God Almighty, ask Him for His mercy to shower us, His forgiveness to shower us, and to accept us as the best people ever. Please do pray for Him. الحمد لله وكفى وسلام على عباده الذين اصطفى. الحمد لله وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وأصلي وأسلم على رسول الله صلاة وتسليما يليقان بالحبيب المصطفى النبي المجتبى صلوات ربي وسلامه عليه وعلى آله وصحبه وتابعيه وتابعي تابعيه إلى يوم الدين. Praise be to Allah, God, the cherisher and the sustainer of the whole universe, is the only one worthy of worship. We do not take any partners associated with Him. Bear witness that Muhammad is the Prophet and the Messenger and the seal of all prophets and messengers before Him. One verse of the Quran I decided to share with you today, just to look at it, think about it, reflect upon it, and live with it, would be the best guidance ever. Ever. It is applicable to what happened, applicable to some other things happening in our life, applicable to many other things would come in the future. We're in chapter 3, verse 173. God Almighty is saying in Arabic, الَّذِينَ قَالَ لَهُمُ النَّاسُ إِنَّ النَّاسَ قَدْ جَمَعُوا لَكُمْ فَاخْشَوْهُمْ فَزَادَهُمْ إِيمَانًا وَقَالُوا حَسْبُنَا اللَّهُ وَنِعْمَ الْوَكِيلُ فانقلبوا بنعمة من الله وفضل لم يمسسهم سوء واتبعوا رضوان الله والله ذو فضل عظيم. Those unto whom the people said, verily people have gathered against you to kill you, torture you, terrorize you, whatever the kind of inhumane act they would have. Therefore, fear them. And this is the main goal of those people, by the way. It's not only killing X number of people. The congregation was about, in New Zealand, about 350. They killed only about 50, injured about 20. But for the rest of them to do what if they are not killed? Fear them. Live in fear. That's the main goal. Once they do have that fear, where they are coming from the four corners of the world, leave New Zealand. Go to where you came from. But they will never leave, I assure you. Like us, we'll never leave from here. We're here to stay. We're here to be successful and to contribute. And we'll die here. That fear as a goal will never work for us. Fear them, but it only increases them in faith. Negativities does not work with us. The worst thing will never have us, as I said, come to our knees. Would push us to do the positive, the good. Keep this in mind. The war is mental, psychological, and emotional. It is not only materialistic or murdering or killing. No, it is this way. But it only increases them in faith. And we said, God alone is sufficient for us, and He is the best disposer of affairs for us. Keep this in mind, deeply in your heart, elegantly in your soul. No one, no authority, no power would terrorize you as long as you have that faith in God Almighty. فانقلبوا بنعمة من الله وفضل لم يمسسهم سوء واتبعوا رضوان الله والله ذو فضل عظيم. So they returned with grace and bounty from Allah. No harm touched them, and they followed the good pleasure of Allah, and Allah is the owner of great bounty. This is the belief. We have to stick into it. We have to live with it. We have to love by it. We have to adhere to it. Otherwise, we'll be mentally, psychologically, emotionally defeated, and we'll live in fear. We will never allow this to happen. As long as we're united, we're taking care of each other, we're helping each other. Again and again, Minha Academy and Mr. Reed students, thank you for being with us. Thank you for not being afraid. Thank you for having that courage to come to 1 out of 75 mosques in Minnesota. And no matter what, deeply in your heart, no matter what happened, we are there and you're here. Thank you. Thank you. All the rabbis and pastors and priests who attended the press conference today, and there is another meeting at 3 o'clock and another meeting at 6 o'clock with those inner faith, with those clergy, and I'm participating in this as well. Wish me the best, and wish our community the best. إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم وبارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم في العالمين إنك حميد مجيد. Again and again, there is no one worthy of worship except Him, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, God Almighty. Muhammad is His messenger and the seal of all prophets and messengers before Him. We ask Him for guidance, for mercy, for forgiveness, for help, for support, to eliminate our agony and our sadness and our fear, Ya Allah. We're the only one who can ask, definitely without any doubt. Trust You to help us and guide us to the best. اللهم برحمتك عمنا واكفنا شر ما أهمنا وعلى الإيمان الكامل والكتاب والسنة توفنا وأنت راض عنا. اغفر اللهم لنا ولآبائنا ولأخواتنا ولإخواننا في الله تعالى أحياء وأمواتا ولكل المسلمين أجمعين. انصر الإسلام والمسلمين، أعل بفضلك راية الحق والدين. انصرنا على عدوك وعدونا يا رب العالمين. اللهم انصر من نصر أمة محمد واجعلنا منهم، واخذل من خذل أمة محمد ولا تجعلنا منهم. إن الله سبحانه وتعالى يأمركم بثلاث وينهاكم عن ثلاث. إن الله يأمركم بالعدل والإحسان وإيتاء ذي القربى وينهى عن الفحشاء والمنكر والبغي يعظكم لعلكم تذكرون. اذكروا الله العظيم يذكركم واشكروه يزدكم. قوموا إلى صلاتكم يرحمني ويرحمكم الله وأستودعكم الله.
وأشهد أن محمدا رسول الله. حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح.